Okay, then. So welcome back to another vintage video. Today we're playing some Dredge. Shockingly, we're playing in the showcase qualifier thing. I don't know what it's called. Um, the big event on the 25th of January, the Sunday one. This is the list that we're gonna play. I'm not enamored by any Dredge list at the moment, but it is the best thing you can be doing with a Bazaar of Baghdad, I think. Um, or the best thing we've proven that we can be doing with a Bazaar of Baghdad at the very least. So, three thugs, three ghouls, max main deck permission, including the misstep, but no chalice in the main. Chalice is going to be post board today. Um, Narcs, Icarids, Creeping Chills, Amalgams, and obviously the ghouls and hollow ones. To kill with, four griefs, and a lot of dredges. How many is this? 8, 12. So 12 out of 13 I think is acceptable. And then, yeah, so the ghouls are good in your Lurus control matchups. I think that's where they shine the most. And having the four negations for force of wills is just really powerful, obviously against like the whole field. The sideboard that I'm going to register today is a bit different, where I've gone a bit spicy. So we've got four Ravenous Traps. I quite like Ravenous Trap, just the fact that we can draw into it in the mirror. When we're under a ley line, we can draw into it and keep them off. And it means that if they bring in Vigors, they're probably cutting their blue, in the sideboard mirror matches. The Vigors will come in, the four ley lines will come in, the blue cards will go out. And then if that's the case, then they're down four cards because they bought in Vigors. And they can't interact with our hate. So that's quite cool. So I quite like the traps for that reason, because it means that game 3 they've then got a sideboard awkwardly. And then Sickening Shoal, because we want to kill a bunch of stuff, namely Containment Priests, Yixlid Jailers, are going to be the big two. And then the one Chalice, and then the spicy bit that we've got today, these two copies of Endurance. The reason I'm playing these, okay, is Black Dex, who's been doing very well with Dredge, has been finding the Lurus Doomsday matchup difficult. I don't know how prevalent that matchup is for us in a, whatever say is going to be 200-man event. I don't know how prevalent that is. For Black Deck specifically, who's playing vintage challenges and running into Sabusa Cat every week, maybe it's worth trying some specific tech, right? Um, because they're playing in smaller events with they'll be in the event today, but in smaller events with the same people at the same winners tables every week. So I'm going to try this to try and help in that matchup a bit. But on the other side of things, Munchlax, who's one of the other big dredge grinders, is playing 6 hate pieces all the time for the mirror, which I think is way too much. I hate it. But endurance, I thought, just hedges me each way, right? Hedges me against Lurus Doomsday if that does turn out to be a big part of the metagame. And it hedges me against Dredge as well. So there we have it. Maybe it comes up elsewhere. I'm not too sure. I can't think of where to bring it in against Breach. It doesn't seem very good. It kind of beats their combo through a Flusterstorm, but doesn't quite strike me as good. And that's the list. Yeah, classic Dredge stuff. And we'll see how we do. I'll see you for round 1. Okay, nerds. So we are on the play for round 1 of the Super Qualifier. And I need to close my thing. Okay. So we're on the play. We're up against Gichiogire, who's got a Psychic Frog avatar, which is cool. And we're on Dredge. We've got some Silver Smokes. They've got a Lurus. Powder this. And then go to 6. And we'll keep here. We'll put the Chill on the bottom. We'll look to discard the 2 shells. So Chill is the bottom card. I wonder if I'll remember. And we've got a bit of permission. Opponent's gone to 6 as well. Because remember, these, if they're on the blue-black list, and actually most of the Lurus lists these days will have a Spell Bomb or a Soul Guide in them, right? So me powdering on the play, I know it says, like, Fire Truck in the corner and what have you. so they pretty much know what they're up against. But in the dark, if you're not a vintage regular, then powdering on the play actually gives up a lot of info and allows your opponent to mulligan to find a soul guide and that sort of shit. Opponent happy with their 6 though, so we're going to crack on here, and they might have just found Wasteland, they might have just found something a bit more impactful than what they had. We've found a protected Noxious Revival with 2 Dredgers. They are shit Dredgers. And then we'll throw out a hollow one. My computer is not loving life. It might just be doing a bit more than it can actually do at the moment. So, landed a hollow one, got 2 Dredgers in the bin. We've got a Noxious if they've got a Wasteland. We've got a Force of Will if we want it, you know, need it. An opponent having a bit of a ponder on how to sequence turn 1. Typically they want to go Mox, Vexing Bauble, Wasteland is going to be their best play, I think, into like a turn 2 Psychic Frog. I think that's the sort of play which would really minimise our chances of winning. But maybe they've just got something very close to a turn 1 kill, because they could also just be a breach list or a PO list, right? So lots that they can have at this stage. I've also got Counter-Strike stream on, which is probably not like the greatest, like, you know, brain equity. So I probably need to turn that off. I did mute it, but it is still distracting, so it's gone now. Now I've just got my recording software. There we go. Opponent has just completely disappeared. Maybe they're multi-queuing. Okay, we've got an Underground Sea and a Seal of Removal. That's very funny. So Seal of Removal is going to bounce our creatures around different zones. What I'm actually going to do though is just take a slow Dredge here. Sorry, because then that's just going to protect the 3 cards I've got in hand. I hit a Creeping Chill, and I can just go over the top of that. No reason not to. So Shambling Shell, and we hit a Narcomoeba on the way down. We didn't hit any Silver Smoke Ghouls. But we do get to play the Narc, Bink for 3, and if they bounce my hollow one during combat, we'll just redeploy it. And if they don't bounce my hollow one, they'll probably do it end step. But if we just play nice and slow like that, then we'll be able to maintain all of these cards all of the time. They don't go for an end step, so maybe they're looking to protect a Bone Master going forwards, like a Bone Master into a Twister, that sort of thing. 6 cards on the other side of the table. And we'll probably play in a similar way. I'll probably eat a shell with Icarid, pick up Stinkweed Imp slowly. Just to maintain this and always have this protected revival. Like, there's going to be a point where my protection on my revival doesn't actually make the cut, but playing like this slow dredging style will also protect our hollow one, right? Like, if I'm not upkeep activating, they're never going to find a window where I'm hell-bent with a hollow one on the stack sort of thing. So they've got the Wasteland here. And they do go after the Bazaar of Baghdad. And then now they will find the window, won't they? So we'll end step the Noxious, because then we don't play. Then we play around. Did I target the right thing? Because then we play around the force of negation from our opponent. We're up against Spell Pierce Force of Will here. That's how they get through this. Or just a Errant Flusterstorm. But negation is what they need. No, negation is what we've played around here. So here comes the Spell Pierce. And they've got to force me to... Oh, they've got the Flusterstorm. My. Okay. So now their Seal of Removal is going to really damage my Hollow one, because that's gone now. So we'll just eat a Shout and Slow Dredge. They're still taking 4 this turn. We can still hit things with chills. They did have the Flusterstorm, which is... I don't think too common these days. I think that slots are usually a Spell Pierce now. Because that helps the player, the lures people fight against One Rings and stuff. But I want my Icarid in play. And I want to dredge my Stinkweed Imp for my draw step. I hit a Chill and another Stinkweed Imp, so they're going to take some damage. We're low on black creatures here for our Icarid. We've just got 1 Stinkweed Imp on the go. But we've been through 1 piece of their permission. We'll attack for 8. I expect the Hollow one to get returned. The Hollow one does get returned. I've discarded no cards this turn. So opponent falls to 6. So we're going to keep sending. We need to fight the creatures now though, because a Bowmaster, for example, kills my Narcomoeba and blocks my Icarid for quite a while. So this is tough. No Mox as well means that they've not got any creatures. They could have a Fatal Push for my Narc. That I don't think I would fight. That I think's fine. I am going to eat my Shambling Shell against my better judgment, because I'm running low on black creatures at the moment. So Stinkweed Imp comes in. We hit another Narcomoeba. We hit a bunch of black creatures though, which is really nice. So Narc gets in there. And then we attack for 4. Sending the opponent to 2 life. They don't have a Fatal Push for a Narcomoeba. Icarid goes away, and I've got 2 pieces of food and a Dredger for my 2 Icarids next turn, and 2 Narcomoebas in the sky. So quite a lot has to happen here. One of those things that can happen is also just, the program crashes. So 2 mana and a third with a land drop. They're at 2, facing down 8 damage and a Dredge 4. The Bowmaster technically keeps them alive, right? Bowman, shoot a Narc, block on Icarids. They go to 1. But they kind of need the land because they need the Spell Pierce back, because I'm going to fight the Bowmaster on the way down. But then if they flash speed the Bowmaster, they don't need the life point for Force of Will, because they can also negate my Force of Will. So as long as they don't sorcery speed the Force of Will, they'll force me to play into their negation. And I've been through 3 out of 4 chills. I think we put the other chill on the bottom, so I think that's the last card, which is quite a long way away at this point. Opponent has a Black Lotus. That's interesting. They crack it for black. They play a Demonic Tutor. Do I want to fight the DT? I don't think so. They've got 3 cards in hand. They find a Nihil Spellbomb, which doesn't interact with lethal, right? But it is quite scary. I think I'm going to let that go. They nuke my yard immediately, which makes sense. They don't do anything else. Then they play a Psychic Frog. And I Force of Will the Frog. And if they've got Daze, then I die, but I don't die. So Daze was what kills us there. Force of Will we still beat because they lose a life. Cool. So what do we want in? I want some number of shoals. I want some number of vigors. We could consider the full 8 and then just cut blue cards, right? This is certainly an option, a way I quite like sideboarding against these Lurrus decks. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, 3 Bazaars. Let's see how poorly it can go. We've got a kill spell. We've got a vigor. We'll keep this. Pretty cold to a needle. Underground Sea, no plays. Okay. So what does that mean? That means they're holding like a Yixlid Jailer. Something that's a play that's that slow. Let's go Powder Icarid Thug, I think. Because then we've got our graveyard engine going, but we've also got our 2 interactive spells. If our opponent plays a jailer, then we can fight it on their turn. And if they've not got a jailer, then I've got 2 Bazaars next turn, right? So we can sort of play a bit strangely and slowly, but we keep all of our pitches. We hope that they just go Wasteland Go. I think that's the dream. Wasteland Go. Okay. So then we'll Dredge a Thug. We'll leave the Icarid where it is. We'll Dredge a Thug and play another Bazaar. Dredge the Thug. And then play another Bazaar of Baghdad and activate it. I've hit quite a lot here. Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp. And I'm going to keep hiding this Icarid and holding it for a pitch. I'm going to get 2 Amalgams this turn, plus a Bash for 3. There's no ghouls in the bin just yet. But then we're so heavily stocked for a post Spellbomb turn. We can fight Cage, we can fight Jailer. We had 3 Bazaars, which is obviously just like the nuts, but we just need to not run those 3 Bazaars into a piece of hate. So it's not been the most aggressive way of playing. I like that they've resolved one and let the other ones in response to the second one. First one resolves in response to the second Amalgam. Brainstorm. It's quite funny to me. This is the sort of nonsense that I would do in paper just to sort of confuse my opponent, right? It's just funnier online. Just oddly specific and annoying time spots. Prize match. So this could be a Tabernacle. That's something we've not got weapons for. We've got these 2 Icarids, so we do have weapons for. But that could be another card that causes your blue-black opponent to just go Underground Sea Go, which is like the most underwhelming turn 1 ever, right? That's not a winning play, typically. So I feel like my opponent has got some hate and we're waiting to see it. So I don't think you keep on the back of Wasteland Brainstorm. Not 7 at least. So how dead are they on board at the moment? They're taking 12, 13. I don't know why 12 plus 1 took me so long. And then we can find a chill to kill them with 2 Bazaars, I'm sure. But it depends on what pops out of this underground sea here. They've brainstormed. They could be locked into some sort of brainstorm. Our opponent could just be balls deep in the multi-queue Sunday grind. But yeah. So they do have the Tabernacle at Pendule Vale, which is going to slow us down a bit. And I do believe that means we can just resolve these Icarids, eat grief, eat thug. Do I want to play around the idea of not a mind break trap, a ravenous trap? Not really. I think I'll activate now. Let's go Stinkweed Imp. Maybe we get a Stinkweed Imp. Oh, 2 chills. Stinkweed Imp, Stinkweed Imp. And then we'll discard Icarid, Stinkweed Imp, Golgari Grave Troll. Yield to all of these. So they take a bunch of damage here. And then we dredge 6 on the draw step. I think that's all my chills now. That is indeed all the chills. So we've not got anything else to dig for here. We'll just attack then. We've got one more Icarid in the bin. No Icarids in exile. So I kind of don't want to go too hard on my second Bazaar here because I want that third Icarid, that fourth Icarid. So I've got 3 in my yard now. These 2 in play and the guy here. I don't want them to nuke my yard this turn and eat my final Icarid as well because that's how I'm dealing my last point of damage. So we'll just chill with an untapped Bazaar of Baghdad. Opponent has an Urza's Saga, which is fine. And then we will force the issue end step, I think, with this activation here. This causes a Bowmaster, which is fine. Which is going to ping my face. And I don't want to do anything else right now. And we need to make sure that because what's going to kill us from here? Nothing, right? Yield to all of that. That's all irrelevant. But we need to make sure that we resolve our Icarids first, so we just don't die to a Mind Break trap. A Ravenous trap, sorry. So I want the Icarids back before any sort of Ravenous trap is online. So we get no response to this, I'll eat a grief. I'll eat a shell. I'll eat a thug. And then all of this can happen, that's fine. And now our opponent looks pretty dead to me. Draw step. I'll grab a Stinkweed Imp. I'll Sickening Shoal your Bowmaster. And now I'll attack for 9. And they're dead. Very nice. Nice round 1. Went well. Played around what I could think of. And a nice 2-0 to start the day. Okay, then round 2, we're up against Snoopy Magic. And we're going to take a mulligan to 6. Opponent has not revealed a lure, so we've got Nut Dredges, a Creeping Chill on the bottom of our deck, and some permission. So we'll keep this, we'll send the chill away, we'll say done, and then our opponent, does he have a Chancellor trigger? There's something waiting on that side of the table, so I assume it's going to be a Chancellor trigger in a mono-white matchup. No, it's just they mulligan to 6, they didn't powder anything. Okay then. So we'll just activate, hope to hit a hollow one or a grief. We hit a grief, but I can't actually use the grief, can I? I can use the grief next turn, so let's try and do that. 1, 2, 3. So we've got Force of Will, we've got a slow Dredge up onto grief next turn, and then a large activation. So that'll be good. Opponent has a Polluted Delta. Very interesting. It's foily. Expedition? I can't remember what they called it. One of those two. So we'll just slow dredge this imp. Hit nothing, and then I think I grief you. Do we want to force this through? Apparently we don't need to. Oko, Oath of Druids, Besage You Who Endures. Interesting stuff. Okay. So we'll get rid of the Oath of Druids. And then we can activate or just skip turn. I guess we just skip turn here. And we can go for an activation on their turn. Assuming we're about to get Besaged. They're going to get Hedge Maze. Yeah. So there's the Hedge Maze. Oath of Druids has gone. They're holding double Oko. They don't like Forbidden Orchard as a play. And how do we do this? There's no real good way for us to... Oh, I'm going to go second main phase for sure. I know they can have... I know they've got Beseiju. They could have another Oath that they're going to play after this. But I think we just... It's a blind draw, so I think we just go in their main phase. And we'll Dredge Troll. We'll Dredge Imp. I think I'm coming off these forces at this point, because I know I'm about to get Besaged. All of this stuff happens. We get 1, 2 Narcomoebas, 2 Icarids. They could die here. I'm doing the second main phase, so I get my amalgams now. And there will be 3 of them along with the Narcs. So... And they just concede the game. Very nice. So... Vigors will come in. And then what will go is a new question. Maybe just some Silver Smokes and 1 Noxious. Do we want... Do we want Chalice of the Void on the draw? No. Endurance could be bad. So yeah, we'll just submit this and we'll see how we do. We've got all of the interaction we can muster. I always think is there like there's definitely not the space in my opinion, but I always think Ravenous Trap could be funny, right? You just because you can just chain through their fucking Atraxas at some point, but there's always gonna be one left over, right? And that's the one that's in play, and that's the one that's the problem. So it doesn't really make a difference, but I believe I've submitted deck, but Magic Online seems to be disputing that. Okay, then on the draw, we'll keep our 7. We've got the Force of Will. We've got the good Dredgers and the Icarid. They don't seem to have a ley line. They've got a Mox Jet here. And then they probe me. That's cool. So they learn about the Force of Will. They know I'm holding a green card. They've got Polluted Delta. And a Soul Ring. Oh, they're Tinker build then? Fetches immediately. Gets a Trop, I guess. And then just full sends on a turn 1 Show and Tell or Tinker. Show and Tell. Which we obviously have to fight, but I just assume that they're holding Force of Will back. No, so they've got a double send then. So we need to find Grief here, because they're going to be holding yet another piece of hate, or sending. So let's activate this. Hope for Grief or Vigor, I think, is what we're after here. We find neither, which is really bad for us going forwards, I think. Because I believe they're just about to send another Show and Tell at us. Black Lotus. Oath of Druids, okay. I don't think I eat this Stinkweed Imp. Do I even dredge? I might just take a draw, so I can still find Grief. And then we'll activate on their turn. We'll end up with a Dredge 11. Maybe I should have dredged. We've got Flutterstrand, 2 cards in hand. Let's just dredge 11 here. Stinkweed Imp. Golgari Grave Troll. Hit a Creeping Chill. Let's go Stinkweed Imp. Shambling Shell. Icarid. Yes, to chill you. You're at 14. No responses on Icarid. I'm going to eat this Prized Amalgam so it doesn't come into play. I'm going to eat this Grief. I'm going to eat this Shambling Shell. And I'm going to eat this, one of these 2 Stinkweed Imps. And now I'm going to attack you for... I'm going to take a draw step again. I've got Grief and Vigor as good draws here. And I don't want creatures in play. So I'm going to attack you for 14, or for 12, sorry, you're at 2. I think we've only got 1 Creeping Chill left in our deck, right? Yeah, because 2 of them are in hand. And now there's 1 Creeping Chill left available. We can hit Prized Amalgams. Okay, they've got a fetch at the end step to find their Hedge Maze. Stifle here would be very funny. Consign to Memory on this trigger is pretty sick. That doesn't happen. Okay, your go. I've got one Stinkweed Imp. I need more creatures. They've got a Brainstorm. And they just concede the match. So keep creatures out of play and attack you with Icarids. Obviously, very fortunate to have all those Icarids in the top fucking 5 cards of our deck. But good games, 2-0. Okay, round 3, and we might have just run into a nightmare. We're up against Shatoon, who is Sphere Shop's loot usually. I'm just going to drag their deck across, so flashbang for a moment. So what have we got here? We've got... This is their most recent list posted today. They did... they didn't do too great with it. But look at this. It's, so obviously it's just Sphere Shops, but Vexing Bauble, Pithing Needle, 5-6 spheres, and then 7 spheres, and then they've also got Bog, 6 Wastelands, and Urza's Saga, and post board, because I didn't have enough already, they've got 2 Worm Coils, 4 Ley Lines, 3 Cages, and 1 Tab. I wish us luck. Holy hell. Well, we've got a Bazaar of Baghdad, which is about as good as it gets for us. We get to negate a lock piece on 1, and then cross our fingers and pray. Obviously, this is a list that they won forward with this morning, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually on something different, you know? I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. Because if I won for a challenge in the morning with a tournament in the afternoon, I'm probably not going to play the exact same 75. You know how it is. But I am going to keep my 7. And Shatoon's on the play. I think they're mulliganing. They've mulliganed to 6 cards. And it's over to them. Moxjet. Mitchell's Workshop. Trinosphere. I'm not incredibly fond of that. So I'm going to fight it. So I would like to be able to get this back. If they then tap this jet for a needle, then we can cry about it, you know? But hopefully what happens is they do nothing and we activate Find a Grief and just bury them. That's going to be the plan. So we find another Noxious. We'll activate our Bazaar of Baghdad. We will not find a Grief. We will find a Thug. So let's play these. And then let's just hope that we kind of get through this turn somewhat unaccosted. Because I might just... I don't know what they can have that's like good for us in this spot though, that's the thing, right? There's a Sphere of Resistance, which I can't do anything about. Yeah, I guess you've got it. You've got a Sphere of Resistance. And then this is where you then play the Wasteland so that my Noxiouses are dead. And then I'm just on slow dredges the rest of the game, which they can usually overcome. Another Workshop. So they've got nothing else to do. Okay, well, we'll just push and see where we can get to. Stinkweed Imp, we can get nowhere. Okay, so let's drop some cards and hope we hit a chill off of this Imp here. We hit a Narcomoeba, but I've got no Amalgams in my bin. So that's not great. And then if they've got a Golos here, which would make sense, then they'll get rid of an Icarid and a Ghoul. It's not actually the most stacked yard in the world, is it? Icarid, Ghoul, and that's it in terms of reanimating creatures. They've got another Workshop and nothing else to play. They're just holding mono lands. So Stinkweed Imp. There's 2 chills. There's 3 chills. I am actually going to hold one of these Stinkweed Imps just in case of Golos into Bog in the future. And then Icarid eats Grief, and there's triple amalgam there actually, so like Golos just has to get Tabernacle, to be honest with you. So we'll get back another Stinkweed Imp. We'll 4 them down to less life, 7 life. And then I'll get back all my creatures. And Golos has to get tabbed to stay alive, so my Icarids will finish them off. That was all 3 chills in one turn, wasn't it? Yeah, 3 chills plus the one that was in our opener here. And we do get away with one there. And this is where it gets hard. So Vigors I want. I closed it, didn't I? I closed that. Yeah, I did close that. I think I just want the Vigors. I want all the hate pieces. Do I want the Griefs? I might actually be interested in Endurance to get rid of Wastelands and stuff from Crucible. No, they've already wasted me at that point, right? Griefs on the draw? I think Griefs on the draw can go. Just all the instant speed interaction. I'm not sure if I love that. I'm wondering if I'm supposed to trim some cards. But this is what I'm going to try at least. This is what I'm going to try and come up with. A very odd game one from the opponent there, where they played 2 spheres and then no other spells. Opponent is on the play obviously again. We hope to find a very, bizarre and hollow one heavy hand. They keep with 7, which I'm not in love with. We powder this. I'm going to keep chill in my deck, I think. And I just powder this away. And then I mulligan this. And then we keep, and we'll send Icarid Narc packing. I don't have any green cards. They're going to have a ley line here. Yeah. The keep on 7 had to be ley line, and then Workshop Trinosphere to close it out, or Workshop Vexing Bauble. Sphere of Resistance is not fine, but it's going to have to do. And then we just have to find hollow ones and raise Tabernacle. That's our whole game plan here. Because we can't produce mana at this point. So in we go. There's some Vigors, but they're a bit late. I'll hold them anyway. I can't imagine a world where I can ever cast them. There's a Strip Mine. Strip Mine's my Bazaar of Baghdad. Does not tap the Workshop. And in this one guy we trust, and when it's gone, and so is the game. There's an Inventor's Fair. Which makes a Crucible of Worlds. Doesn't gain them any life yet, but it may do in the future. I'd like another Bazaar of Baghdad at some point in my life. Because I'd like to find more hollow ones. Then they can play Strip Mine, but that doesn't give them 5 mana for Golos, right? Oh, Tolarian Academy does. That's a Stonecoil Serpent as a 5/5. That's not very kind. So we can't attack, but we can sit around and wait for Bazaars. They start gaining life back. I think this game's just done at this point. I can never kill this. This is bigger than anything I can produce. Grafdigger's Cage is irrelevant. Black Lotus doesn't do anything. It's just I find Bazaar of Baghdad and then I swarm the hollow one. Swarm the Stonecoil is how we ever win this game, but they've got Inventor's Fair on a loop here. So they can get Golos, get Tab now, right? So yes, it is just over. We'll attack. I don't even think I'm winning this race, am I? They'll sacrifice this. They'll get Golos. Golos will fetch up a Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, and then we'll go to game 3. They get a Wormcoil Engine. Okay, that's also going to kill me. So let's move on. I want the Chalice on the play. I want the Griefs on the play. They're going to cut the Ghouls. I'm going to come off of a Thug. And then I might trim something else as well. I might just trim a Grief again, though. Yeah, I might just go down to... Or I could just trim a Negation. Try this. I've still got a good blue count. But I've got these 4 Griefs which interact off of more of my cards. Okay, then game 3, but this time we're on the play. This time we've got Bazaar and Force of Will and a green card. So we can at least find Vigors and use them. Oh no, opponent doesn't have a Leyline of the Void. Okay then. That's exciting for us. Stinkweed Imp, Thug, Narcomoeba, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Narcomoeba. So then I've got Blue Pitch off of Amalgam and Misstep on its own, and then we can pitch this shell. We've discarded double Dredger. We don't have a Noxious to play around this strip mine that they might have. What have they got? Vexing Bauble, Cage, Tabernacle, Trinosphere, Soul Ring. So they've got Tabernacle. Do we just take Cage? And fight other things? Like fight the... I'm just going to take the Cage. And I can fight the Bauble or the Trinosphere. Maybe I just fight the Soul Ring so they can't play cards through Tab. Mishra's Workshop. This guy. Yeah, so you can play this guy. Oh, do I want to fight that? I think so. And then I'll misstep whatever 1-drop they play here. That was fine. We've used all of our cards. They've played this. They've deployed their... They've used their threat. They've got rid of their stable mana. They've got 1 mystery card in hand. And then the rest of it is things that we can't interact with at this stage. That don't like interact with us at this stage in the game. So our plan now is just to dump and run. We did not do any dumping. Try to Stinkweed Imp. Hit actual air the whole way down. Opponent has a Vexing Bauble. Opponent has another Workshop. 5 mana. You top deck a Golos, and Golos hits Bog and kills me. It doesn't really kill me because I didn't really hit anything. I hit 1 Prized Amalgam. So Upkeep will activate. Then we'll Dredge 5. But it is annoying that they found Golos there. And we find nothing again. And then they find a Wormcoil Engine. They've drawn... Oh, no, Stonecoil. They've drawn horrifyingly well, haven't they? Considering they had nothing good in hand a turn ago. Let's just draw step a Shambling Shell then. And then we'll pass the turn like so. How much am I taking? 10. How many chills have we used? 0. Combats. I take 10 down to 4. And they play a Trinosphere. And they cycle a Vexing Bauble. And now they haven't made a land drop. Well, I'm going to go now anyway, because if I hit a Narcomoeba, I get a prized amalgam on their turn. I hit a bunch of creeping chills. I didn't hit the Narcomoeba, which I needed. This sends me to 10. I do hit 2 Icarids, though. I'm going to go over the top of this, because I need to find something else to stay alive with. That would keep me alive. Probably force the Tabernacle, and if they force the Tabernacle, then their creatures start dying. Icarid eats grief. Icarid eats grief. How many cards have I got? 11. Dredge a Stinkweed Imp. Hit another Creeping Chill. Attack you. You're at 5. And in my 6 remaining cards, there are still 2 Icarids, which I need to go and find next turn somehow. This comes in for 7. They've got to play the Tabernacle this turn, so do I want to absorb damage? Probably. So I take 4 down to 9. They play a 3-mana Mox Pearl, then they deploy the Tabernacle, so that keeps both their creatures alive, actually, that Mox, doesn't it? Does that mean I'm dead? 9. That's 10 damage. I've been through 1, 2, 3 Creeping Chills. So if I dredge off of a Stinkweed Imp here, then I get 1 more draw step. So I want to put my Icarids on the stack last, so that I can eat these amalgams and then dredge my Stinkweed Imp. And I've got no more Narcomoebas. I've got 1 more Creeping Chill to keep me alive. I've got 2 more Icarids to find. So, eat this guy. Draw step, dredge Stinkweed Imp. I've got 1 more draw. There's my Creeping Chill to keep me alive next turn. Oh, but do they just die here? They might do. I think they do. I didn't even see that. Not very good, is it? Crunch, crunch. Okay, we get there. Fucking hell. I was so focused on not dying that I didn't realise that they were dead to my Creeping Chill. Creeping Chill not only keeps me alive against their 10 power, but it kills them, which is actually arguably better, really, if you think about it. Anyway, that was good. Okay, round 4, we're on the play against CLT Legacy League, who's been on a lot of Lurrus Breach recently. So, looks like we're waiting for them to reveal a Lurrus. We don't have a Bazaar. Just looking at their list on my other monitor, I won't, make it all white on screen again this time. So 1 main deck Soul Guide, post board, Yixlid Jailer, 2 over encumbered, a 2nd Soul Guide, and a Lantern. Okay, so we're going to powder. And we're going to mulligan to 6. And then we'll go to 5. It looks like they've taken a mulligan as well, because I don't usually get interrupted. Oh no, I've got to ask them what they want to keep, right? That's the joke. They begin the game with 7, okay. We'll mulligan to 5 though. And then we'll powder this. We'll rescue some chills, I think. And then we'll go to 4. Our first difficult mulligan of the day against a matchup which isn't the most enjoyable. Straight to 2. 2 Bazaars. We'll keep this then, and I think I ship one of the Bazaars. Right? Or do I just... go Bazaar, go... No, I think I just want to get rid of a Bazaar of Baghdad. Put 2 blue cards on the bottom. Say done. Baghdad go. And then we'll just activate their end step. We'll activate our upkeep and just see where it takes us. Underground Sea and a pass from them. Stifle would be funny. Grief and Thug, so that's fine. Let's just send upkeep. We've got no interaction in this game. We've just got the clock. They're going to Ancestral upkeep, sure. Oh yeah, they just didn't want to overdraw. That's fine. So Stinkweed Imp, Golgari Thug. We hit a Chill. We hit 2 Narcs. We hit an Amalgam. We've got a Dredge 5 coming up as well. So we're going to present a clock. That's for sure. But they've got... They know that they can just completely slam everything. Didn't hit a Ghoul on this, but we did hit an Icarid. And a third guy. So next turn they're getting bashed for 9, which is pretty tasty. And I've got 2 chills left. So Tundra, okay, so they might be on something different. Mox Sapphire. Oh no, they do play Tundra in their list. They don't have access to red mana. We're hitting them for 9 next turn. Plus, if we can find our chills, we found our Grave Troll and our Stinkweed Imps, so we're doing pretty well for that sort of thing. But we'll see what they can come up with here. So 2 mana DT. DT is going to get Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern is going to slow this down quite quickly. Oh no, Black Lotus. Okay, so maybe I'm just dead then. Blue. Cycles a Lorien. He gets a Volcanic. Passes the turn. Very interesting. Well, passes through combat, at least. Can they not go now? No, because it eats their DT, right? They don't have enough cards in grave. Very interesting. So I think I've just got to hit my 2 things, right? 9 plus 6 is a kill. If I hit my 2 chills, then we should be good. There's one of them. Grave Troll. Imp. There's my 2 chills. So now they need a removal spell to be alive. They're paying some costs, which I'm not hugely enamored by. But if they don't have any plays here, I think they're about to die. They could have a Crack Lotus for Plough. That would work. We'll eat this Grief here. We'll dredge this Grave Troll. And now we'll attack you for 9. You're at 8. Show me the... No, they're just dead. Okay, the mulligan to 2 just about gets there. Fortuitous. And now, how do we sideboard? So let's take a look back at their deck list as we were discussing before. I am going to drag it on now just so we can talk about it as we go. Jailer, Overencumbered, Soul Guide, Needle. Which means what? I need Creature Kill, Vigors. Creature Kill and Vigors. I kind of want permission to interact with this shit, so I think we're going to cut the ghouls, for sure. We're going to bring in Vigors. We're going to bring in some creature hate. We're going to bring in Chalice. We're going to cut a Thug. And now I need 3 cuts from here, but I want to be as interactive as I can be. So I think I'm going to cut... something else. I think I'm going to cut a couple of Noxious. I'm tempted by the Endurances, actually. What if we do something like this? All the Noxious, bring in the 2 Endurances. I need 1 more cut from here. I'm on the draw, so maybe 2 Griefs go, actually, and we keep a Noxious. Then what's my green count? 3, 7, 8, 12. Not ecstatic about that. But I do like seeing their hand. But I think I'm going to cut Grief and grab another Noxious. Is Endurance just too much? Am I overdoing it there? Probably. So let's just get rid of Endurance. Grab the Grease again, because seeing their hand is good. And what's this? 5, 6, 7, 11? How did I make it worse? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's actively worse. I think I'm just going to shrug my shoulders at it being actively worse and just get to work. Yeah. Fortunate to hit all the chills, but, you know, we hit what we had to hit. Okay. Green card's impressive. Double hollow one is impressive. Opponent is on the play. Vexing Bauble would be exceptionally powerful here. That's a Lotus Petal. I should not do this. Tolarian Academy as well. Wow, so what's this? 1, 2... Don't tap the Academy. Over encumbered is fine. No, it's my turn. Sure. Okay. So we've just got to... Okay, so they're holding... They are holding Mana Drain, right? So we've got to come up with a way through this over encumbered. Like a Force of Vigor or something. None of those are Vigors. So let's get rid of Amalgam Shell, Chill. I think we'll just cast a Hollow one. They'll probably let these go, which I think is fine. They didn't have Tabernacle last time out. Junk Token is not worth us activating because we can only activate this as a sorcery. I don't want to attack. Leave me alone. We can only activate this as a sorcery, so if we hit a Vigor, we can't use it. So our game plan is just going to be to just kill this through their Mana Drain. So we need to Grief, then Drain. Grief, then Vigor, you know? And we will just take card draws here. Ignore the graveyard for a moment. Misstep's a nice pickup. Icarid's a nice pickup. Let's get rid of Powder, Amalgam. No. Yeah, Powder, Amalgam, Icarid. Pass the turn. And then opponent's only got 2 cards in hand. We need to find a Vigor. That's clearly important. 3 cards now. Oh, they're doing something. They play a stock up. Okay. The stock up might just be lethal. I need to not do this because my opponent gets too much info off of me. But it's just so convenient. So 2 mana here for a Soul Guide Lantern. I think I'm happy to misstep that. And if they drain back, then that's great. So I actually think they're holding Flusterstorm. What's in my yard? Nothing I want to exile right now. I don't want to do that. I am interested in keeping that negation. I'm still going to activate my Bazaar of Baghdad though. Creeping Chill, Shambling Shell, so they can all go. And then we'll pass the turn. No, leave me alone. So next time I might eat one of the shells out of the bin just so I get these amalgams into play. The merchant scroll. And get an ancestral recall. They have decided to play around the idea that I could have a negation here, which is pretty smart. Oh, no, they haven't. Ah, but they want to... I'm just going to fight that. Maybe that's really bad, actually, because now I can't fight my vigor if and when I find it, right? So maybe that was a poor play. But then it puts them back to 3 cards in hand. I'm going to eat one of these shells. This brings 2 amalgams back, gets them out of the way of the soul guide that's sat here. We can draw some cards. Find a hollow one, find a Narcomoeba. I don't need any of those. Pass the turn. Get the amalgams back into play. And I might need to stop activating this Bazaar of Baghdad. I may have needed to stop activating this Bazaar of Baghdad a while ago, actually, but hey ho. They play a Moxjet. They buy Lurus. And then they're casting Lurus. This is going to give them loopable soul guides and loopable lotuses, and loopable over-encumbered, right? So I need to come up with multiple answers to an over-encumbered now, which I don't think I can do. I'm just going to pass. I'm just going to take cards for now. This was just a game where we needed interaction. We didn't really have it, and the interaction we did have, maybe I used at the wrong spot. Another shambling shell. I'm just going to pass. I do need cards. And then not much to commentate on here, really, is there? Like, both players do nothing. Oh no, both players, opponent doing something. 6 mana? Oh, just Lorien revealed. 7 mana Lorien. 5 mana Lorien. Oh, give some given target me. Okay. Am I dead? Probably. So over encumbered buying time to kill. Not usually true against the combo lists that I've been on recently, which is a shame to lose to that. Because it's very good against this list. It's not very good against the combo list. So it's quite a nice card to see in sideboards when you're on the combo list, right? But hey ho. We lose to it now. I'm on the play, so I want all my griefs, I want all my vigors. I still want to keep these shoals just in case. I think I'm just going to cut a Noxious. It's not getting me anywhere, is it? I could cut threats, but I really don't enjoy doing that. Opponent still has a Lurus, we still have a Bazaar. We'll keep this. We've got double negation. Or double force even. Activate this one. Jesus wept. This is annoying. I'm going to come off of 1 negation, 1 sickening shoal. It didn't really get us anywhere, did it? So no upkeep activation from us, I can't imagine. Tundra. Pithing Needle. Well, I'll fight that with a negation. Maybe I wanted to pitch a Force of Will there actually, because then I could have negation up in the future. How do you play this? I want the Dredger, I want the Icarids. I want to fight I want the Hollow one. Maybe I just don't want the Hollow one. Maybe I just discard Hollow one, Shambling Shell, fight your over encumbered on the way down, then nuke it, then kill you with Icarids. But then if you play Yixlid Jailer, my Vigor does nothing, I don't have a Hollow one. I don't really want to come off this Vigor, because one piece of interaction doesn't seem very good, does it? Then if I discard the Hollow one and you play a Soul Guide, that's really tough. I think I have to keep the Force of Will. I think I have to keep the Force of Vigor. Or do I just come off the Vigor and play Hollow one? I don't want to have to find another green card, but then if I keep the Vigor, I'm not protecting the Vigor, so it's all the same, so I can just get rid of the Vigor. And if they fight the Hollow one, we let it go. Yeah, so that doesn't die. And 2 hits from this Hollow one is enough for us to ignore everything and Dredge. We've got a Soul Guide Lantern, which I might just let go, to be honest with you. I think we just let this go. I don't want to fight that. You can have my 2 Icarids. You take my Shambling Shell. Okay, so then you're going to take my Icarids as well. Just all of it at the same time? No. So I'm just going to attack them for 7 here and take a draw step. The Icarids will cannibalize themselves. We find a Serum Powder and get him for 7. They're at 13. Icarid dies. Opponent Ancestral Self. I don't know what to do about that. I really don't know what to do about that. Do I just want a Force of Will? And then what? What happens if I Force of Will? Then you untap over encumbered me. And then if you ever crack a fetch land, you die to chills. But I have to force chills. I can't force the lantern. The lantern counters a chill. I don't think I can let this resolve. I think that just kills me too hard and too fast. Icarid dies. Mox Pearl lands, giving them infinite mana. Coming off this Vigor hurt, but I just don't think there was a decent way for us to do it any other way, if you know what I mean. This is 4 mana, so this is a sorcery speed Gifts Ungiven. And our opponent is not concerned about anything at the moment by the looks. So they've got Lurus mana here, right? So I think they're just going to get 4 hate pieces and say pick your poison, you know? I think I have to flip up end step, sorry, to try and get them to crack this soul guide. Black Lotus, Mox Sapphire, over encumbered. Target opponent chooses 2 cards. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest into your hand. So you can have like what, Sapphire Petal, and then you show me. So you can have Sapphire Petal, and you know you're getting Sapphire Petal. There's the Sapphire. There's the Petal. And it comes to me. And I flip upkeep, or end step, sorry. Hit a black creature, which is tasty. Also, this is just enough to make Lurus. My turn. Pass priority here. Make an Icarid. Activate my Bazaar of Baghdad. Hit Hollow One, which is unfortunate. Take a draw step. Hit another Serum Powder. This is not the time for Serum Powders, if I'm honest with you. So now they can play Lurus, play over encumbered. And then we've got to force chills through their over encumbered and through their graveyard hate, right? But this is through a Soul Guide Lantern loop. Which doesn't seem particularly feasible. 1, 2, 3. Well, tap 4. Yeah, buy Lurus, buy thingy. And they're perfect on the mana. So then we can draw a black card and kill Lurus with our junk token hitting a Sickening Shoal. Lurus is in. They've got 4 cards in hand still. Over encumbered comes back. Icarid can just chill out then. We take draw steps now. It's a Bazaar of Baghdad. Does that do anything? Not really. I'll play it. Now we're actually just dead, right? That just kills me. The Creeping Chills. That is hideous. Because now they just sacrifice 1 Creeping Chill. And we lose. Insane shit. Just this 1 Soul Guide Lantern. Can counter 1 Creeping Chill. And then I die. It looks like they've just got another gift though to kill me with. Yeah, merchants go for gifts and then that's lethal, right? And then they've cast Lotus out. They've got a Brain Freeze. Okay, sure. So they've just got it all. Okay, so we do lose. This is game 2, so we'll force our opponent to not fuck it up. But over encumbered was good. I don't know if I did anything too wrong game 2. Game 3, sorry. Game 2 I didn't really like how I played. But, you know, I'm going to sit here for a few minutes and watch my opponent kill me, I'm afraid. So, how's everyone else doing? Air 2 stars crushing. Discoverance crushing. Legacy Leagues crushing. Molly Mara, is that another Dredge pilot? And then that's it. Okay, now they're brain freezing themselves. So they did have the Jailer. They've got DT. They've got another Soul Guide Lantern. Rebuild's interesting. Surprised that's in their deck. But I've got 2 Chills in my deck, right? So we're just going to watch them activate their Soul Guide Lantern once, and then that'll do. I know I cut a lot of Dredgers. How many did I cut in the end? Oh, only one, actually. Only one Dredger. Opponent plays a Soul Guide Lantern. They eat a Creeping Chill. And then blah blah blah, we die. Okay, opponent in fact did not fuck up. They exiled my cards, and we're dead. So, 3 and 1. On we go. Okie dokie then, round... I don't know, whatever on. Opponent has not got a single vintage deck published. And they've only got 1 page of results. So we're going to powder and play this round in the blind. We are on the draw. We appear to be lagging out. So sorry about all the flashes. I'm just trying to get everything set up and going. So I want to get rid of this page now that it's gone. Opponent's mulligan to 6. I've done nothing apparently. Okay, so we powdered and missed, so we're going to mulligan to 6. Opponent has got decisions as well. They've taken a mulligan down to 6 in all. They keep. We get a 5. Now we keep. And we'll get rid of negation. Grief, negation ghoul, negation shell. Negation shell. We might grief twice. If they're on Dredge, then I wish I didn't have a grief. Ancient Tomb. Grim Monolith. They're on Jewel Shops as well, or Raker Shops. Manifold Key. Into the One Ring. Tezzeret. If they play a main deck Needle, that's so fucked up. What can they get on 1? Just a Sensei's Top? Or a Rando Soul Guide? They get a Needle, and that's so fucked up, man. Okay. So I guess I grief them and then carry on with my day after that. Grief them to attempt to make them slow down. Grief them twice if I have to, and then come up with a plan. I don't know how I ever beat this Tezzeret. They've got another Tezzeret. Okay, so they're like done for things to do themselves. They need to draw cards. They can untap stuff. While holding just an Academy. They play the Academy. They untap the Monolith, and it's back to us. And we have to just sit here and get back up to 8 and then discard cards. They found something to do. a Sensei's top. That probably kills us. Turn 1 Tezzeret with Needle in deck is not very kind. I think I'm going to make them show me whether they are a Raker deck. Okay, I think that's good enough for us. That was pretty comprehensive. I think I want Vigors. I think I want some Shoals. I think I don't want Revivals. I don't want one of these. I think I can cut a Negation. And then I need to cut 2 more cards. Am I supposed to be cutting threats more than I do? I don't know. Chalice on the play is really good. Maybe I do this, cut the ghouls. So then I can kill. Do I need to kill creatures? I don't think I do need to kill creatures, do I? Let's get some ghouls back in here. Let's keep some threats. Get a chalice going, and then see how we do. That wasn't the most fun, if I'm honest with you. Right then, game 2 against Triple Sleeved on Raker Shops. Won the play this time with no Bazaar of Baghdad. We're down to 5. Did I bring in Vigors? Yeah, I did. Good. Whew. Completely forgot what I did. Mulligan, and I've got Vigor, I've got Negation. I think I might just drop. How many cards? 4. Okay. So what I want to do, just drop Grief Chill. No, Grief Chill's horrible. I don't like any of this. So I'm going to drop 2 cards. I want to activate my Bazaar of Baghdad. Amalgam Force of Will? Force of Will Amalgam. Grief you. Take your 1 ring. Figure your other 2 cards. Activate Bazaar of Baghdad. Soul Guide Lantern. Tezzeret. I can't fight the Tezzeret. They get the Soul Guide, and I die. So I just take Tezzeret, die to 1 ring. Motherfucker. Maybe Force of Will is better than Grief. Take Soul Guide, die to ring. These 2 cards kill me. What if we just take Sapphire then? Then turn 2 they ring me. Then I'm not getting turn 1 Tezed. I think I take the ring. Play the Bazaar. Probably don't activate at all, so maybe playing Bazaar's bad because I just run into a fucking top deck strip mine. So then they go Sapphire, Tomb, Tez. And then once they've committed Needle Lantern, we Vigor both of them. And then we kill them. Something like that. That doesn't seem very good. I don't think I've played this well. I think maybe I'm supposed to keep blue card. And then what happens? And I counter. It's all the same, right? I counter a 1 ring on 1. I then die to Tezzeret on 2. No, but then I've got Vigor in hand. But I've still not activated my Bazaar. Am I supposed to flip this and try and find... Am I supposed to flip this and try and find a shell to get back onto? A shell or a troll? I don't think that's very good either. Opponent confused about what to get here though. They don't have any options apparently. They do get the needle. Seems we've got to hold the vigor for a moment. I'm not going to activate this Bazaar, and if I top deck a shell, I top deck a shell. Who cares, you know? Perfect stuff. How annoying. So, we'll just chill out. Opponent's going to likely play their 2 hate pieces. Grim Monolith. Pithing Needle's fine. Tezzeret goes up to 3. They haven't activated Tezzeret yet. They then immediately minus Tezzeret. I guess to get Vexing Bauble then? Yeah. So then we will blow up Needle Monolith. Pitch to Noxious. They make 3 mana. They got 2 cards in hand. And now we're away from Tezzeret. They get the Soul Guide, which means they get the first break, which is fine. And then we just have to overpower that 1 card in hand here. Which we may or may not know. I don't think we do know. No, we don't. It doesn't appear to be a Pithing Needle. We don't get anything from activating, so we don't get anything from blah blah blah. Hopefully they pop this here and just say no dredges for you. They do, that's perfect, because now we get an upkeep activation. They've got 1 card in hand. We hit a Dredger, we hit an Icarid. Let's hope that this can push something through. Thug comes back. Hit a Chill, nothing else, but I found another Dredger. They've got 1 card in hand. They've got access to a second one through Bauble, and they've got their draw step. So up to 3 cards, 6 mana here. That's 4. It looks like a ring to me. How hideous. Okay. They draw another card. They find an Ancient Tomb. These don't hurt them if they tap them. They don't tap them. Nothing happens with Icarid. We do Dredge Shells, I think. I miss. Okay. So I can't hit a Chill here, so I will just activate this. And pitch an Amalgam. What if I draw step and then activate with Dredger in their turn? That's probably better, right? I mean, that's what I was going to do if I hit another Dredger, but hey ho, never mind. So the ring hits them. They draw up to 4 cards in hand. They play a Mishra's Workshop. They've got unbounded mana at this point. What costs 7? Oh, they're sacrificing Vexing Bauble. They to play a Lotus and Emerald. And a Sensei's top. I need to find something off this activation, because I have actually got a graveyard and threats coming at them soon. This is not the most enjoyable matchup for us. So they've got a top in play. 5 mana floating. I wonder what this card is, because they've played it really strangely to float all this mana. It's just going to be another One Ring, right? I don't know what all of this means. Unless they're holding like a worm core engine? That doesn't really make sense to me. Nothing makes sense to me. 8 mana. Stone Coil? Oh, okay, it's just a Stone Coil Serpent. Okay, weird. I didn't know they played that. They didn't sink this mana into it though. That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll just go over the top of everything. Golgari Thug, Stinkweed Imp. 1, 2, 3. Narc comes in. We'll dredge a Stinkweed Imp. This is Narcomoebas. No, this is Icarids. So we get rid of Shambling Shell. We get rid of Shambling Shell. And then we hope to hit a chill off of this Stinkweed Imp here, because that'll bring my ghoul back. We don't hit you, get 2 amalgams into play at least. And then next turn I get 2. Next turn I get 2 3 Icarids. If I've still got a graveyard. That is. So the Ix are dead. The ring binks them for 2. Crunch, crunch. They're going to draw 3 cards off it this turn. Why are we looking with top? You're going to draw through all of them. So, what are we doing? Sorry. So they looked with top, which seems odd to me. Then they drew 3 cards. And then they get to look with top again, because they're now mystery cards. So then they've got 3 cards in hand, plus whatever we've seen here they can take the best one of. And how many chills have I used this game? At least 1, right? 2, okay. So if they don't put something else in play, then my chills can kill them. The Stonecore has got reach. Okay, I'll just take the clean and easy 8 here down to 15. Opponent taps 6 lands, or 6 mana, plays another 1 ring. You hate to see it. They keep the 3 though. They keep the 3. Giving us actual, factual killing outs in their next upkeep. How many cards have I got? 27. Draw step, just draw. Get a Narcomoeba. No point in doing anything. We've got Stinkweed Imp into Thug. Two chills, right? 2 chills. Nothing else, and you're taking 3. They kept the expensive. Pays 4 for Talon Gates. Yeah, that's fine. You'll go ahead, pro multicolored anyway. So we just got to hit our 2 chills on this activation here. Takes a look with the top. So he kept this ring. And we go now. Stinkweed Imp hits 1 chill. Stinkweed Imp hits 2 chills. They die. Opponent coming up clutch here with the absolute gift. Playing the ring, keeping the damage, and the damage putting them to exactly to dead to chills is pretty sick. I think I want negation on the draw. I think these griefs are questionable up against the ring. I think I want dredges, threats, and I think I'm just going to actually just have a Noxious and just maximize the interaction that I've got and ignore that grief exists for now. So that was cool. We've got a game 3 that we probably don't deserve. We don't have a Bazaar of Baghdad. We lose 2 of our ghouls. And 2 of our dredges, but I just went back to max dredge. And then we powdered this, that's 1 chill gone. All the ghouls gone. Now we go to 6. We keep 2 Bazaars with negation. I think we put Amalgam back. Or Narcomoeba back, I don't think it matters. I'm going to put Amalgam back, I don't think it matters. 2 Bazaars. Force of negation. Force of vigor. Opponent has a Mox Emerald then. And a Mox Jet. Plays 2 mana to make a Grim Monolith. Grim Monolith taps. And they don't know what they're playing with a Monolith. Manifold Key. Untaps the Monolith. Plays a Monolith. Plays a Manifold Key. I agree you've got a lot of mana. Untaps a Monolith. Plays a Tezzeret which gets countered by Force Negation. Opponent is Hellbent now. So that's cool. That card's not green. Let's activate this. That card is green, that card is blue. Okay, how do we play? I'm definitely discarding the Stinkweed Imp, and then I'm definitely coming off of something else. I think I keep the blue cards. Because these are all nonsense. Is that threatening enough? I think so, because I'm holding 2 Bazaars, right? So I think I can just dump and pray. Draw step, we dredge a Stinkweed Imp. We can dredge over the top of this. Golgari Thug. Golgari Thug, I've got 23 cards left in deck. We find a Creeping Chill. We hurt you. We hurt you. Amalgams come in. Play this. Activate it. Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp. Another Creeping Chill. Chill you. 2 Amalgams, you're at 14. 2 Amalgams, 2 Icarids. You're at an effective 1. Opponent goes from Hellbent to nothing. just eat some stuff first. Shambling Shell can get eaten. Shambling Shell can get eaten. I've got 13 cards in deck. I can have all my cards if I want them. Another Narcomoeba. Another Amalgam. Attack you for 13. Do a Creeping Chill count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, opponent is dead when we want them to be dead. We don't have to do anything else, but we can just kill them at our leisure. They've got one mystery card in hand, which could be scary, so we'll just chill out. I can dredge 8 off of 1 activation, right? 5 and 3, yep. So we'll let opponent take the game action. And they concede the match. I feel like we actually got away with one there, to be honest with you. Like that ring play in game 2, I think just won us that whole match. I think that just won us the whole match. That was insane. Right. See you for the next round. Okay, then round 6. We're up against Diablo XSC, which is a name that I recognise, but they don't actually have any vintage results listed, which is interesting. So we'll see how we do. We're on the draw. Actions on the opponent at the moment, but they are firmly in the Google my name stage of the game. Okay then. Opponent has arrived. Well, they registered 61. What the fuck does that mean? Oops, all spells with a Lurus? Anyway, I've got 2 Bazaars. No interaction. We are on the draw, but they are 61 card Lurus. So that's pretty interesting. Volcanic Island. Ancestral Self. Just gives 0 fucks. So what, they've got like multiple Moxen already? Mox Jet. And Volcanic means like PO or Breach, right? So if I hit the Grief, then I think I lead on Hollow One. Plays a Soul Guide Lantern, that's absolutely fine. They exile their Ancestral, that's great. I've got 2 Bazaars, I should be able to overpower 1 Soul Guide, right? Obnoxious activates. Does not hit Grief. Discards Stinkweed, Amalgam, Narc. Cast a Hollow One. And now actions on the opponent, having a ponder and a think about my Hollow One. And that resolves, and we'll cast another one. We've got double Noxious, so if they are on Breach, we've got some interaction. That the second one gets forced, and they exile a Lorien revealed. So still inconclusive as to the type of Bazaar of Baghdad, not Bazaar of Baghdad, the type of Lurus Volcanic Island that they are. Cycles another Lorien revealed, so I think that means they're like a mana drain list. Then gets a Tundra, Island, Thunder Trap. Okay, so they're not a mana drain list, they're a PO variant. Okay then. Finds himself a Mox Opal, plays a Mox Opal. My game is struggling. They've got 3 cards left. So we can just Sorcery Speed Dredge, I think. So Sorcery Speed Dredge. Let's Noxious Revival, a Hollow One. This is trying to encourage this to break, right? Is the idea here. They just let that go. Okay. Dredge 6. Hit nothing? Hit nothing is pretty tough. Let's attack you then. I think they're just holding the PO. Cast Hollow One, play Bazaar. And I guess I make them use it in some way, right? Oh no, this is... No, I'm holding my troll. This was horrible. Creeping Chill, Shambling Shell. This should get that gone, and then next turn I'll have 2 if I have a next turn. This was a horrible play by me though. I mean, well, we've killed the Opal. If we want to take some positives from it, they got 4 cards in hand. They didn't bite on pick up Hollow One. They play a Thunder Trap again. They find Mana Crypt, like the literal best card in their deck. So now the Opal's back on. The POs are awake. PO for 5 on my turn is pretty powerful. I'm gonna go upkeep. I find Bizarre Negation. I'm gonna go upkeep. I find no dredges. Yeah, that was a horrible play by me last turn. Silver Smoke Ghoul. In for 8, expecting the block and PO for 5. Line him up. And then just absolute murder. That activation last turn has actually actively upset me. Right, opponent's got 12 cards in hand. Takes no damage. We've got no interaction. And I'm not too pleased with that. No, I just even picked up and kept my troll. Maybe I was supposed to try and pick up Grief. Maybe that was the line. Instead of pick up Hollow and pick up Grief. I think that would have been better. Because I can just take a draw step, Grief you. And if that doesn't work, then let's take a draw step, Grief you. But then if you crack, then I've still got my imps or troll in hand, whatever I'm holding, right? Because this Hollow One's pointless. We know they're holding 2 Thunder Traps. We know they're holding Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, I think we did this to ourselves. Well, I don't think we did. I know we did. Opponent just has to find the way to kill now. They've got Academy, Vexing Bauble. They tap the Academy to then redeploy like things like Thunder Traps. Or just cast 4th Air Lingus. And the 4th Air Lingus at this point is probably lethal. Man, we got away with the gift in the last round and then just completely gift this fucking round to our opponent. It's just always quite annoying to do. I don't have this many life points, so we'll go to game 2 now. They've got the Monarchy. Okay, so Chalice is good. I like the Vigors because I want to go and nuke all their Moxen. Sickening Shoal I don't think we care about. They could have Priests. They could have the over encumbered. I think we'll just rely on permission. We'll get rid of Sickening Shoals. 1 Noxious, 1 Thug. And then we'll pass like that. And then we'll try and play slightly better. Two Bazaars, 2 Hollow Ones, and I still find a line to lose. It's annoying. I'm on the play though. They're on 62 now. Why do people do this? Right, keep this. Bottom powder. Say done. Opponent's revealed a Lurus. Opponent's mulligan to 5. We've got Vigors in our deck, which we can go and find. We've got 2 Dredges in our hand. I like that they've registered too many cards in 2 games. That's what gives me hope about converting this match in post-board games. So, we will just discard the Nut Dredges. We will cast Hollow One. We will not protect Hollow One. Mainly because I can't, but if this was a Force of Will, I don't think I would anyway. Opponent's turn. Mox Jet is fine. Cycles for a Lorien. Cycles Lorien for an island. Gets a Volcanic usually. Gets a Meticulous Archive. That is not a show of strength. Keeps on top though. And then we just go over the top. We've got a Narcomoeba to get rid of. So Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp. 1, 2, 3. We will eat Grief. Trigger Amalgam. Dredge a Stinkweed. Hit nothing else. We do hit another Icarid though. In for 7. We've exiled 0 chills so far this game. So if they play over encumbered or Containment Priest, then we just need them to fetch land once and they lose. Okay, so they're holding Containment Priest. Icarid triggers happen. Containment Priest goes onto the stack. I'm going to go over the top of the Containment Priest and try and hit my Narcomoebas. So there's 2 Creeping Chills at least. No Narcomoebas is a shame. The chill you twice means that this Containment Priest is going to block. And we'll dredge to Stinkweed and back to hand and chill them twice and they're actually just dead. So, well, I guess they could be holding a plough, couldn't they? Cool, opponent concedes the game. So now that we've seen Priest, we should probably consider Shoals. I think we'll consider Shoals over 1 Noxious. I think I'm going to cut a Grief on the draw. Maybe I should actually have more Shoals because they mulligan to 5 that game to play that, right? Here though I've got Chalice, Bazaar and Force of Will to protect Chalice and Bazaar. Opponent's got 62 cards again. Keeps with 7, that seems unfair. I'll keep with 7 though. Opponent's turn. Golden Tarn, pass. So it's just another Containment Priest hand. We've drawn the Sickening Shoal. We've drawn all the sideboard cards that we wanted to draw. Let's go Shell, Thug, Powder. Cast Chalice on 0. Chalice on 0 is in. Opponent plays Flame of the North, so they've got like a pretty normal main deck way to get back into this. Get rid of this Chalice. They'll find their Archive here. No, they won't. They'll find their Volcanic because they want to Ancestral. Oh, they want to Lorien again, of course. They fucking love their Lorien, don't they? They know where it is. It's been revealed to them. Jesus Christ. Right, just a Tundra. Cool. So Tundra happens, and then they just pass the turn, I presume, and wait for me to push. Yep. Cool, so we'll go upkeep, I guess. No, I think I go draw step actually, because I might want to use all 5 of these cards. Narcomoeba happens, I activate over the top of the Narcomoeba. Hit a Shambling Shell, and a Golgari Grave Troll. Hit 2 Creeping Chills, and no prized amalgams. I can't discard this amalgam, it's my Force of Will, so let's get rid of the 3 cards we just dredged. 1, 2, 3. No response to the Creeping Chill. I'm expecting my opponent to show us the Containment Priest at some point. So Containment Priest is in. Containment Priest is out. They've got a Force of Will. I've got a laggy PC. I've got a Force of Will. They've got another Force of Will. Okay then. So they've got Force of Will pitching what? Stock Up and Flusterstorm. So we will chill you, say no to Narcomoebas, and then pass the turn. We'll dredge Thug next turn, and then pick up a Sickening Shoal and just go again. Then if they've got Flusterstorm, that's a problem. I assume this is by Luris. Yeah, they buy Luris. Back to us, we'll dredge, we'll just dredge a shell, I think. Dredge a Shambling Shell. And then they've got Luris. I guess we just pass. They play Stock Up, motherfucker. I need to get my Sickening Shoal back. Or maybe I need to move on to Hollow Ones. There's 1 Hollow One in the bin. There's none in exile. Double Force of Will, that was pretty tough to beat. They play a Saga. And then they attack for 2. I go to 23. End step, I'm going to pick up Sickening Shoal. That just happens. No. 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 Draw step. No. Kill this. Activate Bazaar. Grave Troll. I need to hit something good. Stinkweed Imp. Narcomoeba brings back 1 prized amalgam. They've got 3 cards in hand. Seems unlikely that they're going to get the mana to. Seems unlikely that they're going to get the mana to Luris and Priest this turn, so I should get a good turn with Icarids. Narc's in, there's an amalgam there, so I've at least got a 2-turn clock, but they've got a Luris. Icarid. I've used a lot of chills, right? 3. And there's 1 more post. 1 more left. So that's a Thunder Trap Trainer. Thunder Trap Trainer digs for 4 cards. Can't hit Containment Priest critically. They've tapped the Saga to do this, which means that they're not on a construct plan. They find a Pithing Needle, which is okay. It's good, obviously, but it could just be too late. They're taking 7 this turn, and then they get to tutor something up. So I guess I need to hit my chill right now. Oh, motherfucker, you had both? That was brutal. Great draw. We'll just attack. Opponent's got 2 cards in hand. One of them's a Lurus. They do get into Lotus this turn, or at least into second white off of this Saga. And then they've got looping these. And I think that does it. There's a brutal couple of draws from our opponent, but sometimes you lose. The next question is, can they come up with a plan against a 1/1 flyer? That's going to be the next test for them. So they get the Lotus. I mean, they've got what's it called? Access to Flame of Anor, which can kill my Chalice and kill my guy. Yeah, exactly. And then play Lurus. And that's the plan against the 1/1, is kill my guy. Then they can replay the Lotus, attack for 1. What's our plan here? 1 Vigor. 1 Vigor has gone. That's our plan. Do I want to keep check on their life total? I guess so. I guess we try that. They've got 1 card in hand. They've got 1 priest in hand. I think that I'm not going to be able to get through this this Containment Priest. The next Containment Priest is a massive problem as well. Both of my shoals have gone. I think that's pretty much us dead at that point. I can't present threats. 1, 2 hollow ones have gone. So I guess it's draw Vigor, then start drawing hollow ones. For exactly 1 turn. Okay, I'm dead. I can't beat the Vexing Bauble. That was frustrating. Our opponent just had that very good sequence of Needle into Soul Guide. And we're dead. Oh well. Okie dokie then. So we're up against Sabusacat, who is playing Lurus Doomsday. It's Black Dex's complaints about this deck exactly, which is why we've got 2 endurance in our sideboard. We're gonna mulligan, we're gonna powder, we're gonna hide a Creeping Chill, and then we're gonna go mulligan to 5, and then we're gonna keep this, and we're gonna hide Narc Chill like that, and the opponent's on the play. So Lurus Doomsday, I believe, is what they'll be on. It's what they've been on for ages. They bauble themselves, play a Misty, fetch immediately, hate what they see, grabs an Underground Sea, casts a Ponder to sculpt a bit more. So I think we need to go fast game 1 and then work it out later. Opponent's going to pass the turn. We've got 2 bits of interaction here with Noxious and Force. don't love seeing the next Narcomoeba because I think that puts me to 0 Narcomoebas in my deck. Let's go Shambling Shell, Icarid, Prized Amalgam. By 0, I mean there's, I think, 2 on the bottom of my deck. So, opponent's turn 2. That's where we find out if they're frog gaming or if they're, no, they're just under city sewers, just straight up. Tap land. Maybe that's part of the plan of clearing the Ponder. Maybe I should have looked at what they did with Ponder. They get rid of a Dark Ritual. Ponder declines use the ability. So they knew they were pitching that. So our upkeep comes around and we get to go over the top of this Icarid trigger. Dredge 3. Dredge 6. 6 is quite a lot to dredge. And then come off one of these Narcs. I've hit all 4 amalgams here. Some pick up an Icarid and yield to our amalgam triggers. That's quite a lot of damage. And then dredge a Grave Troll. Hit a Creeping Chill. Burn you for 3. Attack you for 3. You're at 13. Taking 15 on board next turn. So it's likely that we see something from our opponent this turn. A Mystical Tutor. So they're Mystical, we'll see what they get, and then we'll put a Mystical for Gush. So I guess we put Mishra's Bauble on top of their deck. That just gets through. And they concede to that. Perfect. Right. I want the Endurances, I want the Vigors, because they now have access to Leyline of the Void. I don't think I care about Chalice. So I think I'm just going to bring in these 6 cards. I'm going to drop Thug. And this is where I haven't given it much thought. Ghouls can go though, they can always go. A Grief on the draw. And then maybe a Noxious. Because we can beat a Frog, right? Like we can beat a Frog in a heads up fight. But now I've got Vigors, all the protection, a couple of ways to force it through still. And then we've got these 2 techie Endurances to try and break up their kill. Okay, so this is not a particularly good hand in the face of a Leyline of the Void. Opponent keeps with 7. We keep. They've got it, yep. Solid Strand. Fetches immediately, wow. Preordain. So I do believe we need to grief them on 1. So we want to make sure that they can't frog me on 2. Right, because that's the main post-board way of doing this. So I'm going to activate my Bazaar of Baghdad anyway, because I'm going to go and take a look. And I come up with another Force of Will. So maybe I don't need to grief them. So if I don't grief them... No, I should just grief them. Grief them and don't protect, I think, is where we end up. No response. Frog, Brainstorm, Dark Ritual. So we'll just take the Frog then. And I might fight that Brainstorm and leave them with Dark Ritual 2 lands. I don't know. Because their deck is so much permission. No, I think I will fight the brainstorm. If they just play brainstorm here, I will just fight it. They don't. Okay, I'm not going to force a will a brainstorm, so I'll let them do that. We're not activating this turn, I don't think. Stinkweed Imp, no, we're just going to let that go. And they brainstorm instant speed, and I don't want to use a full force of will on the brainstorm. Now we don't really know anything. Maybe I should have kept those cards open though for a potential range. What was it? Dark Ritual, Brainstorm, Underground Sea. We can remember that. And then they'll fetch that Undercity here. And Miller Scalding Tarn, fine. I have an Underground Sea. And they have a Doomsday. How good was that Brainstorm? And can I beat a Doomsday with double interaction? I think we're better off fighting the Doomsday. They fight back, pitching a Ponder. I fight back again, pitching a Force of Will. They've got one card left in hand. And now we've got to get up to a Vigor or a Hollow one to kill with. If this is black, we can just activate. It's a Force of Will. So I might just chill on that, or do I want to... I think I want to find a Hollow one. If I find a Hollow one, I'm happy to come off these two cards. And I'm going to play this, because they've got one card in hand, right? We need to punish at some point. They might just have a Frog, and that might be the problem. They've got two cards now. I've got 0. Dig Through Time is unacceptably good as a final card to have there. Maybe my activation's bad, but I'm not going to be alive in 5 turns' time. Blood Strand, fetches. As a Frog, I guess. Demonic Tutor, wow. That can't be good for me. In for 4. This might just be a turn that we die. Because this could just be Thoracle Consult. No, it's a Doomsday. Okay. And then they've got 2 cards left over. So they could have DT'd for this, or they could have DT'd for the card draw spell to get them in there. Neither of those things would be good for us, but we didn't see our endurances. I don't know if they'd be in our hand at this point in the game. And opponent building a pile. So we'll take a look at their sideboard. I don't think they have access to Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. No, but there's that thing where they could be so confident that I'm dead here that they build it into their pile. Ancestral. So I think they're just holding Gush. By the looks, so it's going to be an easy Gush kill here. 2, 3, 4 frogs have gone. Yeah, so we're not getting another turn here. It's over. Flusterstorm. Flusterstorm. So 3 Flusterstorms. Floats a blue, casts a Ponder. Ponder picks up Gush. Gush picks up Lotus, Thoracle, and we die. And there we have it. Off to game 3. Probes me. Kills me. Well done. Good game. Oh, the probe in that spot's really smart, actually, isn't it? Because it beats Noxious. I think I'll grief on the play. I think I'll do that over a random amalgam. Okay, this hand's the dream. I hope you mulligan to Leyline of the Void. Opponent's on 5. And remember, we did not see a Tabernacle. They're at 4. And this is the disadvantage, right, of Tabernacle-less. Right, I say Tabernacle-less. They had 1 card left in their deck at the end of that game that we have not seen. It could very easily be a Tabernacle at Pendulum Veil, which they've hidden from me. Kevin is one of the best 2. They're at 2 cards. So that's pretty tough. That's a pretty tough thing to happen in round fucking 7 when you've sat here all day. They put 5 cards on the bottom of their deck. And then I'm going to Thoughtseize them. I don't care about their Leyline. We'll pitch the Creeping Chill. I reckon it's going to be Underground Sea Ancestral Recall. It's Doomsday Scalding Tarn. Okay, fine. Doomsday's gone. Our opponent's got Scalding Tarn. Let's see if we can convert this one. Let's see if we've got it in us. We pass to our opponent. They've got Scalding Tarn. We knew about that. We can Dredge slowly. Miss on Dredges is very funny. Attack them for 8. They go to 12. Do I grief them? I guess so. I don't care that I missed on Dredges. They've got a Scalding Tarn. Oh, I didn't miss on Dredges. Sorry, my bad. My bad. I missed the Shambling Shell. Okay, so now just dead on board. That's cool. They get to fetch for an Undercity. Then they get to play a Scalding Tarn. Remember, we can still die from here, right? They get rid of another Doomsday. So they need to top deck Ancestral Lotus Doomsday. And then another cantrip. Scalding Tarn is fetching. They play a Thassa's Oracle. Does that keep them alive? You're at 10? No. Good. Good. And opponent concedes the match. Well, if one of the players was going to mulligan to 2 this match, I was not going to put my money on my opponent. So sometimes you get away with it. I think that's a disadvantage of their sideboard plan though, right? Is they appear to be fairly all in that idea of getting a ley line. And then it's one of those things where it's always hard to tell. Maybe they just had 5 hands in a row which are just absolute dog shit. But I would guarantee there's like Kevin sat there going, I should have just kept that like acceptable 6, you know, and not gone for that ley line. I don't know. Hard luck though. Okie dokie then. 8th and final round. We're up against Discoverin, who I think is playing Breach these days rather than Doomsday. We've got a Force of Will and a Bazaar of Baghdad. Opponent has got 7 cards by the looks, and they haven't opted to keep yet. They mulligan to 6, we keep on 7. And let's see where Discoverin goes with it. They're on Doomsdays, and I think I need to find another piece of interaction from here. If they're on Breach, then maybe I can kill fast enough. Because Breach is not particularly quick. They're on 6, we're on 7, we're on the draw though. They've got a Mox Emerald, so they're not on Doomsday. So they are just Lurus Breach with a power heavy hand. An Academy as well, wow. So this is a Gifts Ungiven if they want it. So if I draw a hollow one here, I just don't think I'm playing spells. I think I want you to breach into gifts into me. Or you're just going to Ancestral. So then you Ancestral and you've got a Drain behind. Do I want to fight this? Drain and what though? Drain and 1? Oh, but then your fucking thing resolves. What do we do? I think I might just let this go. I just don't want to run this into a drain. I can fight later and make you do the fighting and the proactive plays. No grief. Hit too many chills. Let's discard Amalgam, Stinkweed, Stinkweed. I've got 5 cards. Maybe that was fucking stupid. Maybe I'm supposed to just push that. Because now they've got 6 cards in hand. I'm so fucked today. Volcanic Island. Mox Ruby. How do people just draw that much power? I swear to God, whenever I play full power, I'm like lucky to see 1 Mox. So now it looks like our opponent's got a Gifts Ungiven. 3 cards in hand. I've only got 1 Force of Will. I'm gonna go now. Stinkweed Imp. Golgari Grave Troll. Hit a Narcomoeba. Discard this Silver Smoke just in case I hit another thing on the way through. Another chill on the way through here. So I've got this Grave Troll, which is going to dredge a 6. Do not hit a chill. Two Ichorids, 2 Amalgams. There's the 4 mana tap. Leaving. Oh god, what's this? Oh, they're just leaving blue open. They had blue open anyway. 6 mana? End step? They also Stroke of Genius? Dig Through Time. I think this one I'm going to fight. I don't like that at all. And then they get the Drain off, and they've got 1 card in hand. And the Dig resolves. Yeah, it's just killed us, hasn't it? But maybe that Ancestral was supposed to kill them. Maybe that's when I was supposed to fight. I don't know, their hand feels like it's been face up the whole game. Or like we could really build an easy picture of their hand, right? 8, 11, 14. So I'd need to hit my final 2 chills to kill them next turn if I get another turn. They get 5 mana here. They've dug and Ancestral with this game. Just doesn't sound realistic, does it? They probe me just to get the information, making sure it's clear. And then they cast Lorien Revealed, which is not a show of strength, but it is 3 more cards. And then they cast another Lorien Revealed. 8 cards in hand. 16 damage on board from me, and they're passing the turn. So I need to hit 1 or 2 chills in 33. Yeah, let's just go over the top of it. Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp. That's not a chill. Hit another Narcomoeba. Which doesn't actually do anything in this spot. There's a Grief there. There's a Grief there. Draw step. 2 in 23. We get to hit 6. If they don't have a removal spell, that's actually lethal. The hell is this? Red, red. Just an abrade on something? Abrade, a prized amalgam. Okay. So that puts them to 1. No, that puts them to 3. And I cannot count that, put them to 4. Then they get an Undercity. They've got 6 cards in hand. They can easily buy Lurus. They can't deploy Lurus. They need to deal with my final sickening, my final creeping chill, right? As well, on their way through killing me this turn. They're deep in the thoughts about this top card though. Two Silver Smokes come in. The Amalgam sees it all happen. The Icarids are in. My opponent knows my hand anyway. Basic Island. 4 mana. Gifts on given targets me. Let's see what the pile they come up with is. They've also got 5 cards in hand, which could be anything at this point. Time Walk's not ideal. So if I give you what can I give them? If I give them, I obviously can't give them Breach. If I give them DT and Walk, that seems really get bad. If I give them DT and Lotus, they can buy Lurus, play Lotus, play Breach. They've got perfect mana for that. If I give them DT Lotus, that seems really bad. DT Walk seems really bad. I don't think there's a good pile for me here. DT. If I just give them Lotus Walk, then they buy Lurus. If I give them DT. If I give them Breach Lotus, then they play Breach and cast DT. I don't think there's a most annoying one. So what's the one that makes them play Lurus? It is, I give you Lotus DT, makes you buy Lurus, or then you just DT for Breach. If I give you Lotus Walk, then you get 18 mana, so I don't really want to give you Walk, I don't want to give you Breach, so I guess I give you DT Lotus. And then if you're on one breach, then you have to buy Lurus, play Lurus. And if you somehow don't main deck a Soul Guide, you have to get fancy to kill me. I don't want you to have either of these cards. I don't want you to have either of these cards. But I think I'm dead anyway. I don't think I can get through. I don't think they can fuck this up from here. So let's get a second copy of Breach then, I guess. Yeah. And then they can cast DT. And we've got to make them kill me through a Creeping Chill, right? And there's always the risk that they can get a bit lazy here, as I've got 17 cards and their storm count is 6 as they cast this Brain Freeze. If they do that, that's really bad for them, unless they're holding a Stifle. So they need to be quite disciplined and actually go for the normal kill here. And deck themselves first, get their Soul Guide Lantern out their deck, and then kill me. And they are a good and disciplined player. And whilst they execute us here, I am going to look up their deck. So I want to know their sideboard strategy. So Discover and Lurus Breach. Their sideboard strategy is just 4 Soul Guide Lanterns. What is the price of freedom? It's a Stone Rain. Okay. So they just play 4 Soul Guide. Post board. They don't appear to have a Soul Guide main deck this morning. So they're just going to try and take infinite turns and kill me with... They don't have a Lightning Bolt, do they? No, they've got Pyroblast. So they can't beat my... According to what they played this morning, their main deck, once they have Exiled Ancestral to dig through time, can't kill me. I don't know how many extra turns they took. I wasn't actually looking at my screen. Their Breach is dead. In comes Lurus. I take 3. We'll fucking find out, won't we? So Underworld Breach gets cast. They might just have enough, right? How many cards they got in graveyard? 20. They play Lurus with Lotus, I guess. I don't know, but we're going to sit here, I'm afraid. I think this is how they have to kill me, is just continually casting. Unless they've... Because they can't make me draw cards at this stage in the game. Well, they Brain Freeze me. I've now got another blocker. Maybe they've got a main deck Stifle that I'm missing. Creeping Chill. Chill you. Oh no, now I'm just dead. Right, I see. They gained 3 life. Okay, I'm just stupid. I've played 8 rounds. Please leave me alone. And now they Brain Freeze me, and they know I can't kill them. Cute stuff. Because they probed me and they know my hand. And I can't get through my draw step. Very good. Well done. I'll just concede. I don't want to click through all that. Okay. We go to game 2. My opponent has 4 Soul Guide Lanterns. My opponent has 4 Soul Guide Lanterns. Pyroblast. Price of Freedom is going to destroy my lands. Shenanigans is pointless. Chain of Vapor, 2 Flusters, Pyroblast, or Braid. Mind break trap. Okay. What do I want to do then? They don't have any creatures. How do we want to play? Do we want to play some endurances and some vigors? Do we just want to resubmit this? I think I want to play some vigors. I'm going to bring in 3, and I'm going to cut the ghouls. And I think I do want chalice, and I'm going to cut a thug. I don't need many because those vigors, they can force the lantern pops, but they are also just going to be like stone rains on there. Because they only actually play, they don't play many Moxen. They just had 3 in their opener that game. So we've got chalice and some stone rains, and then they've got 4 lanterns, and then this 2 mana sorcery called Price of Freedom, which is something, I guess. We're going to be on the play though. Okay, we're on the play with 7, and we've got a very tasty opener with a Dredger and a bunch of blue cards. Opponent's still got Lurus, and remember their sideboard plan is 4 Soul Guide Lantern and maybe a 2 mana Stone Rain. So we will activate here, and we'll come up with more permission and another Dredger. So we'll discard the 2 Dredgers. And our opponent has their turn 1. 8 cards, they kept 7. They've got a Black Lotus. Which I might just fight actually. No, I don't have a Black Lotus. And I'm going to dredge slowly because I like the 2 cards in my hand. Or the 3 cards in my hand, sorry. And now we can go over the top of that with this. And now we'll discard these 3. And that's actually our turn. How depressing. Why did I play Force of Will and not Force of Negation? Because I wanted to negate it once they'd Flusterstormed through. But alas, that didn't work. Opponent's got a Surveil. And they Surveil an Underworld Breach into the bin. We've got a Volcanic Island and a Demonic Tutor. Which I think is fine to be exiled. And now it comes back to me. And what do I want to do? Do I just want to put a Chalice into play? Do I want to put Misty Rainforest on top of their deck? I think I might Noxious a Chalice in my upkeep. And then we can decide once we've done this stuff. That was all nonsense. Do I want to draw Chalice for the turn? Do I want to draw Chalice for the turn? What are they doing next turn? Casting a stock up. And then we make them go through Chalice to kill me. And if they get a Soul Guide, then I lose everything. But my graveyard's not very good at the moment. If I lose everything, it doesn't really matter. But then what does Soul Guide do for them? It buys them a turn, or a couple of turns. I'm just gonna pick up my Grave Troll. I don't need Chalice of the Void. So we do find Icarid, which is something to work with going forwards. Opponent just cast stock up, I guess. Maybe they buy Lurus. Look at that. It's 3 mana and they've got Lotus and Breach. Maybe I did want Chalice. Maybe I just fucked it up. which is very probable. And I didn't really have any compelling targets there, did I? For my Chalice, for my Noxious, like another Bazaar's really easy. A previously discarded Creeping Chill's really easy. You know, all that sort of thing. I don't know. Maybe Chalice is just actually really good. What did I fight this turn? DT and Lotus this game? Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. I've not been thrilled with how I've played today. You know those days when you just feel like your deck's carried you quite a lot. It's felt like that in some spots. Opponent is having a good old think. So 1, 2, 3. Stock up, yeah. So Mox Soul Guide is obviously pretty decent. They selected very quickly. Lotus Petal. Yeah, white for Soul Guide. Yeah. They take my Icarid. And then they do nothing, I imagine. Until I try and put something into play. We'll rescue this thug then. And miss again. Attacking for 1 is miserable. There's 3 hollow ones in graveyard. Doesn't seem likely that they are going to just peel off the top. My clock is bad. My opponent... Yeah, my opponent's just going to gift me next turn, right? So we've got to kind of go now, I guess, and save the Golgari Grave Troll. So we can activate this, and then we can hit like... We've got to go Stinkweed first time round. We hit 2 chills. Shambling Shell. 2 chills is not good enough either. Oh, but that still forces the pop. Okay, nice. Wasn't expecting 2 because I've not. I don't think we've actually been too much. 1 Icarid, 2 Icarid, and an Amalgam. No, but my opponent can now also make plays, can't they? But we needed that Soul Guide gone for our turn because we're going to draw 2 in upkeep and Dredge 6 in draw step. Then we might just get Breach killed next turn. They're fetching now, okay. I guess that's quite a compelling reason to buy Lurrus this turn then actually as well. Oh no, they're just going to kill me. Interesting. Yeah, and Gifts on Given is perfect. They can just get Brain Freeze and some other cards. And I lose. Right, I didn't like the Breach matchup at all today. Yeah, you got it, buddy. But I did not like that at all. But never mind. What was my final record today? Like 4 and 4, 5 and 3. What I do is 2 Breach, and then we played against that Diablo. I feel like everyone played like shit in that game. Right, I'm tired. Okay, so in review of our day, how did we do? 5 and 3. I can't really. I've still got the tournament open actually, so let's have a look. This might be a bit of a lot of fuckery between screens. But we, oh, good grief, Modo. Let's quickly not show tiebreakers. We played against this chappie in round 1, Blue Black Lurus, and we won. I think we should be beating Blue Black Lurus in game 1 definitely, and then we need to steal one of the next two. Then we played against Snoopy Magic, who I think was the Oath of Druid's opponent, and that was pretty cool because we had that big 4 Icarid turn, right? And we ate a prized Amalgam on the way through. So some play there which, like, you know, I made a decision, go get me. Then we played against Shatun, who I think just attacked that one turn too early with Stonecoil Serpent on Prison Shops. I think if they wait a turn, then we die. Then we played against this Legacy League, CLT Legacy League, and I think this is the one that I want to think most about when we reassess our deck. So we lost to Over Encumbered, which we don't usually lose to when we're on our combo deck. What I'm thinking is these 2 slots I think are definitely free. Maybe this one, maybe one of these. Black decks is only everyone 3 shoals. We didn't bring in 4 shoals today, did we? But we also didn't play against mono white, so that's when a 4th shoal is really sick. So, let's say we drop Chalice and let's say we drop Shoal. I don't actually have the cards on my account to do it, but we could add like Tolarian Academy as a direct counter to Over Encumbered. We've got 4 Noxious to get it back. We've got an opening hand. We could also play like a Petrified Field and Echoing Deeps in here as well to get it back. And we could also play like Strip Mines and stuff to fight that shit. And go back to those Ultra Strip and Waste things where we land a couple of Amalgams and then tempo them out. So that's what I'm currently thinking about, is how do we be Over Encumbered? Because this chap here, Charlie, they played against, this was their matchup spread. Dredge, Dredge, Breach, Dredge. So they beat all of us on the back of Over Encumbered, right? So is what they've said here, and then the wheels fell off in the afternoon. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bounce into 4 losses on the bounce. So pretty heartbreaking day for them in the end. But they did all of that on the back of Over Encumbered, right? So maybe we need to actually come up with a plan against this if it's making a matchup that bad. Triple Sleeved was Raker Shops, which is not an enjoyable matchup by any stretch for us. Sometimes I want to play all the shoals, sometimes I want more permission. That's one of the matchups where not having Mindbreak Trap upsets me. This is Discord. But they recycled rings but kept the wrong ring. They kept the ring with 3 counters on it and then just fucking died because they were at 9 and we had 2 chills in our deck, right? So it's interesting looking back like this because I don't usually do it too much, I just like playing games. I really feel like our 2 shops opponents on the day made plays that were slightly too aggressive. Up against Diablo, I just felt like this was the point in the day. Like after this round, I actually went and got something to eat because I felt like I played this like shit. I made a horrible activation in one of the games into that Soul Guide Lantern, and then game 3 they had Containment Priest double Force of Will, which was pretty annoying if I'm honest with you. Sabuskat mulligan to 2, good night to you, and then Discover, and we barely participated. So yeah, so I don't know. Obviously we made decisions along the way and we definitely made plays that were good and stuff. I think my reviews of tournaments are always quite, opposition focused rather than points that we did well. Or maybe that was just how our day was and we just punished people making like minor mistakes, like the sort of burn deck that we are. But anyway, get rid of all that shit and then we should have a deck at the back, yeah. So this is, I like these 12 cards. I think we've got 3 slots here we can play with. I am genuinely going to try Academy, Tolarian Academy. I don't know how many other lands I'll play in this slot, and I think this fourth shoal could be up for debate as well. The moment this fourth shoal goes, though, I'll complain about losing to mono white. Don't you worry. Anyway, that's me. Thanks for watching. Bye.